Hello friends, Jeff here and welcome to my corner. Now it is no secret that I'm a big fan, a big supporter of AK Interactive and all their products. Why? Well, I like to work with their enamels, I like to work with oils, and that's just a big part of what they do. True, there are good acrylics out there, Vallejo just to name one, but I always grab back to the stuff that I'm familiar with, which is the oils, which is the acrylic. Now, call me old school, but if it works, it works. Let's say for instance, let's take their oils like the Aptaling 502. Now Aptaling 502, I don't know if any of you know that, but it's a part of AK Interactive. But their oil paints are one of the finest and the best on the market, period. And you will see every time I do a subject or I do like a build, you will always see these very close. Then, of course, they have the other ones like the streaking grams and all the other, like the oil spills, the gas spills, the fuel stains. All that is a really great product that I can only encourage you to try. Now, recently they released a new line. It's called AK Real Color. And they have about 134, if I'm not mistaken, in their aircraft line and about 114 in their armor line. Now you might say, well, what's so special about this? Well, you know, this is actually an acrylic lacquer. It's not an enamel, it's not an acrylic, it's somewhere in between. So what it does is that it will create very smooth and thin layers. And most of the best part is it dries pretty quick to the touch. So you can immediately start masking and all that. And talking about masking, one of their greatest characteristics is that it won't peel, the paint won't come off. Now you all been there when you ever paint an airplane, and it gives you a sinking feeling when you pull back the mask and the paint peels off. This doesn't do this. So if you're interested, you should try this. Now I'm going to try these. I received some samples. So I'm going to try these in a follow-up video and I will let you know. Meanwhile, you can go to their website at AK-Interactive and look at the tutorials. I'm sure there are several seminars and demonstrations where you can see this paint in action. But for now, this is great. This is great news. It never seems to amaze me that companies like AK Interactive still keep us going, still coming out with new ideas, new products. So that's absolute a great thing that's happening right now. Other than weathering media and paints, AK also has a broad variety of magazines and publications that will complement their modeling products. And I would like to share a few of their latest releases with you. First of all, we have Tanker Techniques magazine number 10, as you can tell, tips, tricks and tips. Now this magazine, or shall I say book, covers a little bit about, covers everything about building a model, from assembling to super detailing to painting and weathering, working with photo edits and so on. And of course it's all documented in beautiful high resolution photos. So this is basically an absolute must on your workbench. So the second book is about the T-34 and the IDF. Now we all know that the IDF stands for Israeli Defense Force. So it gives you a little bit of a different perspective on this legendary tank. Actually tells you the story of how they've been captured during the war and how they ended up in Israeli hands. So of course it's documented with authentic black and white pictures, also lots of color pictures. So if you're interested in the T-34, then this is the book for you. So think about that. The third book, and this is a favorite of mine, is the Photo Etch Parts Complete Guide. Now I've been working with Photo Etch for a while, as long as I can remember actually, and I thought I knew it all, but just browsing through this book, there was already a couple things that I saw that I wasn't even aware of. So this is absolutely a must to have in your collection if you're a hardcore modeler, if you're a build, or if you're scratch built, if you work a lot with Photo Etch, then this is absolutely a must-have book. It also, what's very interesting, it tells you how Photo Etch comes about, a little bit about the process of making Photo Etch. So all in all, this book, think about it, it's worth every penny. Another book that they released is The Spoils of War. It goes about the 1991 Gulf War, and this time it's from the perspective of the French. Now we all know that the French were part of the coalition forces that pushed back the Iraqis from Kuwait. So this book handles about the Iraqi army hardware captured by the French. Now the French had this operation, it's called Operation Daguet, and that's where they captured a lot of Iraqi hardware, and that's also where Iraq, whenever they had to retreat from Kuwait, they lost basically all their equipment. This book gives you absolutely a detailed insight of which vehicles that were captured, and gives you a lot of pictures, a lot of color profiles. Beautiful book, well done and well educated. So if this is your subject, again, something to think about. Then last but not least, here it is. The title says it all, toon models. Now, when Meng started to release these comic book-like models a couple of years ago, I didn't know what to think about it. Even as a kid, when I think it was Hasegawa or Tamiya released these egg planes, I was not even thrilled, even when I was a child. So when Meng started to come out more and more, the more I looked at it, the more they started to grow on me. So now I was pleasantly surprised that AK took it upon themselves to come out with a whole publication about this, and it's a pretty massive book. So if you're into toon models, there is so much more you can do with these little comic like I said, comic book like models. So this book basically explains all subjects from planes to armor to figures to ships, and what you can do with it. You can super detail it, you can paint it, you can weather it, and even I'm tempted to do one now. So if you're into toon models and you want to have something, or even just to have some fun, this is a book that you have to have in your collection. So think about that with your next purchase. Then another thing is, and AK has their own rendition of the fiber brush pencil. Now this is an absolutely essential tool, at least for me. I have this on my workbench. I work with it every day almost. If you're into scratch building, if you're into pattern making, or just have to sand something in a hard to reach place, then this tool is an absolute must. It's made from fiberglass, and what it does, it's basically used as an abrasive. So if there is an area somewhere on your model that you can't reach with sandpaper, then you can remove all excess or putty with this. Also, like I said, if you want to remove some glue marks or anything, this is the brush to have. Once you have it, you only have to buy the handle once, I guess, and then there are refills. So very happy that this came out. That they're out on the market for a while, but they're hard to find. So I'm very happy that AK have their own version of it. So I also would like to thank Carlos Dominguez from AK Interactive for sending me all these samples, and hopefully it's a continuing thing so I can keep sharing these with you. Another thing is, please subscribe to my website, because again, I need all the help I can get. But for now, I'm going to leave it like that. Once again, be safe out there, take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys on the road. Jeff E here, signing off.